Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess. You have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. It was all done by Joe Biden. This judge contributed to Joe Biden, and far worse than that, but I'm not allowed to talk about it because I have a gag order. We have a very, very serious problem here. I mean, our country's going bad. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. We're going to take back our country from these fascists and these thugs. In the meantime, this trial is rigged. Thank you.
We are here with tonight's squad. Why don't we jump right in? And Mercy, amazing stuff. Now, again, 34 charges,
right.
felony charges, could be 4 years per charge, which leads to a whole lot of years. But somehow they put a max of 20 years on this thing. And the Democrats are really hoping that they're going to have him in handcuffs and in jail because this is the Democrats inflicting politics.
Right. It's the Democrats' playbook, right? It's you basically activate these very overzealous and political judges and these prosecutors to go after a former president, and it's just absolutely disgusting. I will tell you that when you're looking at what the judge has done, Judge Merchant has done in terms of the jury instructions, where it doesn't have to be unanimous. And talking to prosecutors and judges, they've told me that they have not seen a case like this before, that you should not be allowed in the court for that to happen. And so it really is setting it up so that the jury is in a position where there is more of a likelihood that President Trump would be guilty. But here's the deal. You know what we're not talking about? Joe Biden. Like, Joe Biden's in Pennsylvania. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. So from a PR perspective, from a media perspective, I think it's actually benefited President Trump because people are looking at this and saying, this is outrageous. This is political persecution against President Trump. And I think it's backfiring on Joe Biden because you don't even hear about what Joe Biden is doing these days.
But it also reminds people of the chaos of the Trump years where he was the center of every story. People would wake up to tweets. People in the White House would not even know if they had jobs sometimes because he would just change personnel and policies. And so the fact that it came to this ultimate point where he is literally having to go to a trial for 34 criminal charges. You don't see Joe Biden getting these types of charges. And in terms of Michael Cohen, he wanted someone who was a dirty fixer, who was basically his crook. That was Cohen's reputation for a long time, and that is their star
now
witness.
The prosecution is using as their star witness, the liar. I mean, you can't, he's not a convincing witness. Neither is Stormy Daniels, who literally, made money off of President Trump.
What about David Pecker, the National Enquirer?
It's not illegal.
It's the National Enquirer. It's not illegal.
He was a prosecution witness.
It's not illegal.
The reason that you're seeing these cases against President Trump is because the Democrats are corrupt and they're desperate. You do not see this when it's Republicans because we play by the rules. We don't play dirty like the Democrats. This is the United States of America.
And I love the idea that you point to the chaos of the Trump years, and you're talking about 12 people inside the White House, which doesn't affect the nation at all. But since Joe Biden became president, I mean, there's anarchy, and the Democrats have been rioting and burning our cities, and the crime, and that's the chaos that people care about. The possible outcomes, this trial, this verdict. Conviction on all 34 counts. Right? That's one possibility. Conviction on some counts, but not all counts. Acquittal on others. Acquittal on all counts. That would be fascinating. I'd love to see the national reaction to that. A hung jury, only one juror needed for a hung jury, or a directed verdict, as it's called, where the Judge Merchant, could just remove the jury from the equation entirely, and we could all start speaking a foreign language. Some speculation that a hung jury is a possibility. I think that's quite likely, actually, which could result in a mistrial.